a customer with a problem, it can go one or two ways. If you treat them right, you actually will have a better likelihood of having them for life than someone who's just happy and never contacts you, never has a problem.
Hey, my name is Felix Tia, and I'm the host of Shopify Masters, a weekly podcast powered by Shopify, the easiest way to sell online, in person, and anywhere in between. Each week, we invite entrepreneurs like you to share what they've learned growing successful e-commerce businesses. In this episode, you'll learn how to educate your customers when you have a potentially complicated product, the foundations of marketing that you must get right, and why you need to create customized landing pages for each influencer you work with. Today I'm joined by Rob Hoxie from Tiege Hanley. Tiege Hanley provides uncomplicated skincare for men and was started in 2016 and based out of Chicago. Welcome, Rob.
Thank you.
Yeah, excited to have you on. So yeah, tell us a bit more about some of your most popular products.
Well, we like to try to, as the name or the tagline goes, uncomplicated. We like to keep things pretty simple and straightforward. We're men's skincare, so mostly products for your face. And we kind of provide a how-to routine, really easy to follow, and we give you three levels of that routine right now on the main skincare line. So we've got a level 1, level 2, level 3. We have 4, 5, and 6 products as you build up in your skincare routine, and we recently introduced 2 more routine boxes, which are acne versions. And we learned very, very early in our launch 2 years ago the need out there from our followers and customers.
Got it. So obviously products for men. Can you describe your target customer? Like, who is the typical customer that would buy from you?
Well, it's interesting. We initially set out thinking that it was going to skew older, 40 plus, 35 plus kind of age range. But it really, because of the fact that we did a lot of marketing on YouTube, our user base customers are skew much younger than that. Of course, it runs the gamut from, sub 18 years old to in their 70s, but more of it's towards the younger end.
Got it. And so you guys noticed this after your marketing on YouTube. What did you have to change about the way that you packaged or messaged the brand once you recognized that it was more skewing more towards the younger generation?
Well, I mean, we like to think we had an unfair advantage in starting our brand and our company. We formed it along with a YouTube influencer, Aaron Marino, who goes by Alpha M, and so he kind of had a built-in younger audience to begin with. So it was almost like right from the get-go, we were already talking to folks of that age as he does, and so we haven't had to change too much as far as that goes, because it just kind of was natural for us.
Got it. Yeah, I certainly have heard of that YouTube channel, that influencer. How did that come about? Like, where did the idea behind it originally come from, and how were you able to partner up with them or with him?
Well, this is an entrepreneur tip, right? Just reach out or email or call and see what happens. So we started, Kelly Thornton and I started initially an initial iteration of Tiege Hanley, where we were kind of curating what we thought was the best of the best skincare out there, and it wasn't doing very well at all. And we just recognized that Aaron had been doing a lot of interesting things with skincare brands, and he does a real good job of really explaining how things work and what you should do to improve your health, fitness, and lifestyle. And it was a simple email from me saying, hey, we've got this thing going on, and we're trying to educate guys how to take care of their skin and make it easy for them. And for one reason or another, he latched onto it and responded, and kind of, I guess the rest is history, as they say. So we hooked up and decided to kind of go embark on this all together.
Yeah, just based on your experience, what do you think influencers care about if someone out there does want to approach an influencer to bring a product to market with them?
Well, I think the better influencers, as I've learned through the last few years, are really sincere in what they're promoting and backing. So if you've got something that is a real good match with an influencer out there, just be honest and say, hey, this is what we're trying to do, and this is what we're trying to change out there. And you can't force it. So there may not be a match the first X times or X influencers you go to, but certainly there should be some that latch on to what you believe in and what you're trying to do.
Yeah, so you're not just selling one-off products, and just the way you talked about it in the intro is very different than the way that I've seen other stores sell products. Where did the idea behind this kind of business model come from?
Well, we all kind of agreed that skincare it's not like a one and done kind of thing. It's kind of like weight. It's kind of like working out. It's like trying to lose weight, keep fit. It's not like I do it for a month and I'm good, and I'm set for life kind of thing. So we really, believe that, it is a system. And, so if you put the right things in place and you stick to them, it becomes a habit. It totally lends itself to a subscription model because it just keeps, it just keeps replenishing for you. So you keep on it. So that I think that's it kind of is just a natural fit for this category. Subscriptions may not be a natural fit for everything, but certainly for this, it is.
Got it. Can you describe that first system that you released? What was what the products in there? Like, what was it trying to solve?
Before we came to where we are now, is it?
No, I guess the first like successful system or successful routine that you guys sold.
So we include in our level 1 skincare routine kit, we have a face wash. We have a exfoliating scrub, which you use twice a week. The face wash you're doing, in the morning and the evening. And then we include a morning moisturizer, which has SPF in it. So you start the day off, protecting yourself from the sun, even if you're working indoors, there's windows, all that. And then there's an evening moisturizer, PM moisturizer. And it's that simple. And we actually include a card in every box that shows you exactly like how much from a diagram standpoint to use and when to use it. And it literally takes an extra 2 to 3 minutes of your day, to pull it off. So something that simple, explained as simply as we do, really becomes a habit, and it works.
Right. So being true to that tagline of make uncomplicated skincare for men, I'm assuming there's a lot of education involved, or at least maybe quick education, or just ways to explain the benefits and how to use the products and why they should be using it. Can you talk to us a little bit about the kind of content that you're producing to help uncomplicate this process for men?
Yeah, sure. Well, we do a lot of it via video in the form of content from our influencer Aaron, our partner, or co-founder, I should say, and then we're also we're spreading it out more with blog content as well, with professional skincare and dermatologists contributing to helping guys understand the ins and outs of why they should be doing this. Guys, don't grow up with their dad necessarily talking about, you got to take care of your skin. You got to, do this and that. Maybe they teach you a little bit about shaving, but, girls have that advantage, right? They learn from their moms usually that, hey, they just watch her taking care of her skin from an early age. So guys don't have that education. And so it's one of the things that we're out there doing.
Got it. So you're working with Alpha M, and he's a partner. You consider him a partner of yours, which I think is different than the way that other folks work with influencers, where it's more of like a team of people that they're working with, like a sales team that's out there pitching their products for them.
That's why I said it is an unfair advantage in that sense, because he's a co-founder. He's partner is probably not the right word. So he is an absolute co-founder, owner of the company with us. So, but we work with a lot of other influencers as well. So, and because, you want to kind of spread to different audiences and so forth.
Right, makes sense. What's the process like when you are sitting down with an influencer to create content, especially when it's the purpose of it is to be educational?
We've learned from Aaron and others that, it's really about presenting, your product and the benefits of it and all that and how to use it. But then frankly, it's a lot of it's trust in those influencers that they know how to talk to their audience, how to connect with their audience. So you really don't do a lot of scripting for them. It actually it backfires. It gets too canned, and that's not the way these guys like to operate, and nor should they. I mean, it's how it really and that's why they're so effective, because they really truly believe in these products. We send them products before they sign, before they agree to do anything, because they want to make sure that they really believe in this stuff. So, and we've gotten a lot of free reviews out there. Prior to even working with some of these guys. So it's pretty cool.
Right. Now, how many ways can you really create content around a product line? 'Cause I think there's a challenge that people out there are trying to create content, educational content. They kind of run out of ideas, but it sounds like you're obviously churning out a lot of content and working with a lot of different influencers to create content. How do you come up with the ideas, or how do they come up with the ideas maybe to present the product to their audience?
Well, I guess it's two things. One on the like, let's say the blog or the written content side. That's a little bit more internal brainstorming about different angles about presenting, tips and tricks, and when it comes to skincare, and in particular using our products. And then for the influencers, that a lot of that, like I said, is really them coming up with different angles on how they would fit in talking about taking care of your skin. Whether it's talking about relationships, dating, things like that. They find really interesting ways to introduce the idea of confidence. One of the main things that comes really as a result of taking care of your skin is confidence. Your skin feels good, it looks good, and of course you start to exude the confidence that brings. So there are a lot of different topics they could bring. They could introduce the idea of confidence and feeling great about yourself in the content that they're creating.
I see. So it doesn't even have to be necessarily the main topic. The product itself doesn't have to be the main topic, but it can be a tool that they can use to help them achieve the solution that video or that piece of content is trying to solve.
Exactly. That's exactly it. And you see it in both ways. I mean, some of it will be more directed, like we just introduced an acne version of our system. And, in that one, if they could some of them can certainly do an entire episode on acne, because it's such a big thing for those who have it. Right. And so, so it varies depending upon the product and the influencer and so forth.
Got it. Now, talk to us about the product development process, because you are creating these systems and there's multiple products within each of these routines. Where does it begin in terms of developing a new package, essentially, and walk us through the steps to turn into a reality?
Sure. Well, there's a ton of moving parts. We could be here for hours, but to try to condense it, it all starts with what products and product mix that you feel like you need in this case for a skincare routine, and some of that's research, some of that's our partners experience and so forth, the three or four co-founders experience, and so then you kind of target what type of products you're gonna develop. We're lucky we have one of our fourth co-founder is a lifelong chemist. He's been at it for literally 35 years. And he works with some of the who's who in the skincare and cosmetics industry. So we're really lucky as far as that goes. And we sit down with him when we're interested in tweaking something or developing a new product. And it's a process. It's an iterative process. provide samples, and we'll say what we like, what we don't like, and then the cool thing is now we started to we really include a lot of our customers in that process. So we will, like, for instance, the acne product that we came out with, we just launched last week. We had over 100 of our followers, of our customers, who are using the regular skincare system, testing it. So it's really cool as far as that goes. So and as far as on the skincare side of things, then you've got to do things. Obviously you've got to contact a manufacturer. We're not going to build a factory ourselves, so we bring them the formulas, and we found very good contract manufacturer partners. And you've got to be a lot of things that happen in parallel, right? So there's the packaging, there's the product itself, and there's the graphics for the packaging. All that stuff is kind of happening at the same time. So there's a lot of planning. There's a lot of there's a lot to it. But if you got the right people on the team, and people who are kind of spearheading different aspects of it, it works itself out.
What are some surprises or challenges that you bumped into that you maybe didn't expect before you came into the skincare industry?
So, I mean, one of the things that both of our product lines, the regular skincare regimen, as well as the acne regimen, both have a product in each case that are actually considered a drug. So there's a lot of testing, extra testing, and paperwork, and all kinds of tests that have to be done. So I think in the initial launch of our original skincare line, we kind of got caught with as far as lead times on all of that. Where we learned from that, though, and we were all over that when it came to the acne thing. So the in both cases, one was the moisturizer has SPF, so that's considered a drug, and of course the acne solution is a drug. So that's one of those things we learned kind of maybe the hard way by losing some time in development.
And when you do have a system or products ready to go, what about the marketing launch? What's that like?
We had a little bit of an unfair advantage in that we had built up a following before even our initial launch, and that's credit to Alpha M. So we actually, for I think it was about 35 weeks or so, Aaron had vlogged on T. Hanley's YouTube channel about the making of the company, about starting a business and making of the company. So we had, on launch week, which was like July 11th, 2 years ago, this coming July, we had thousands of followers already. We had thousands of people, of guys waiting for the launch, and we treated them really cool. We gave them a real good deal, really for life, because they were the first ones. They were the ones following us. They helped pick out the packaging for us during this whole vlog, series. So we had a kind of so I guess I would say if you could pull that off and have a built-in, have an audience waiting and a customer base waiting for you, that was really, really smart. And so that's how we started it. And flash forward to the acne launch, similar thing. We already had a customer base, and we had a waiting customer base who really had identified that, hey, I really need something serious for acne. So we're able to go to those guys right away as soon as we launched. So that's the way I try to do it, at least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think a lot of your success goes back to just the very beginning, where you had this entrepreneurial know-how to try to reach out to people, try to connect with the right people, so that you have the right partners, right co-founders to launch with. Now, what's your background? How did you get yourself in a position where you were able to make these kind of the right moves?
Well, my background, I kind of have come full circle in my career. Out of school many years ago, 25, plus years ago, I actually, one of my first positions was with Oil of Olay, who is a cosmetic company for women, right? and I was on the brand management team. So, but I basically went about then I went into high tech. I was with a software company for about 20 years, and mostly in marketing and business development. And so I think part of it is just the marketing is marketing, for the most part. It's just and so you whatever industry you come from, if you're involved in marketing and speaking to customers and consumers and understanding what they need to know about products and things like that, it all pretty much translates to just about anything you get involved with from a business standpoint.
Let's talk about that for a second, actually, because you said marketing is marketing. I think that's an important thing where you're basically saying whatever industry you're in, if you get the foundations right, you're 90% of the way there. Can you talk to us a little about that? Like, what are some of the key things that you think new entrepreneurs need to focus on foundationally to make sure that they get their marketing right?
Yeah, foundationally, it's like, as you asked in the very beginning, is like who is your market? Who are you targeting? Who are you trying to provide a solution to? And then it all starts with the potential customer, your target customer, and what you're trying to solve. So then you go dive much deeper into what they want or how they're going to feel about this, that, or the other thing. And that includes anything from packaging to your messaging to your offering. All of that really has to be customer centric if you're really going to pull it off. And like I said, we were able to do that because we had a following, and we were able to, literally we did surveys. We did hey, pick your favorite packaging, all that kind of stuff, and messaging and all that. So it really translated. We learned a lot about our potential customers before we even sold product one.
And you're learning about them. You mentioned, is it through mostly surveys?
It's surveys. It's talking to them. In today's world, it's about the comments, right? And so just tons of voluntary comments. Every single day we're reading comments and people's attitudes about this, that, or the other thing about our product or just the category in general. So there's so much information out there. Obviously, it's just more trying to decipher it all.
Yeah. I mean, even if you don't have your own following and people are commenting your stuff, you can still do research by looking at other people's comments, other products' comments. What do you look for specifically? Like, what are some telltale signs of direction that you can get out of reading comments?
It's starting to feel like, trends, and trends in not meaning like predicting trends, but more like trends in the kind of things that guys are saying, in our case, about our products or about our offering or how we're presenting things. You'll start to see patterns, right? And pretty quickly. And and I think the better companies, will act upon them as quick as possible. So, an example of that is, like I said, is the acne thing. Relatively early on, we started. Two things. A, we knew that we had, acquired, a fairly young audience, and they were, some of them were saying, "Hey, man, this is cleaned up my acne," and this is before we even had an acne product. So it was just proof that, having a healthy skincare routine didn't have to have anything specific for acne is guess what? It's really good for you. So for your skin. So, but we learned pretty early on, though, that was a big concern of our guys, and that they wanted something even more. And we acted upon it. Now it takes quite a while to develop a drug, right? As we learned, the hard way for the first time. So but we jumped right on it.
Got it. So a lot of your products, or one of the key ways that you sell your products is through the subscription. I think it says you're $25 a month for one of the systems, at least. How is that process managed? How do you manage the entire supply chain, essentially, of having a subscription based business?
Yeah, we're entirely subscription based, again, because we believe that if we're really going to help guys, they got to be sticking to it. It's not a one and done kind of thing. and we've developed the products all to if you're following the routine, they're all going to run out at the same time. Literally, it's a 30-day supply of each of the products.
Mm-hmm.
So the pack, depending upon the product, it the size of the tube, et cetera, is different because it's calculated to be a 30-day supply. Now, so we do all of that. All of that is managed from, we're on Shopify, and we use Recharge to manage the subscription side of that. And the subscription model is great for two major reasons. One of them, of course, is the recurring revenue. Of course, is a tremendous model. You can count on money coming in so that you can invest. You can count on that money coming in so that you can invest in the inventory, and you also have a much better grasp of what your inventory needs are. So it's so much easier to forecast what you're going to need over time than, just opening up a shop and, kind of wondering, you basically got to start almost from ground zero every month, as opposed to knowing you've got X thousands of customers that are returning.
Yeah, I think one of the key metrics that subscription-based businesses will pay close attention to is that churn rate. What are you guys doing? What do you suggest other people do that are in the subscription business do to reduce that, to keep customers subscribed and keep them coming back?
Well, one of the keys is, of course, is customer service. Great customer service. I think it all starts with that, because happy customers, of course, make great customers. You also have to keep them engaged, when it comes to content and to reminding them about things. And we're getting better. We're still learning all of that. We're still learning about, the best ways to on the retention side of things. There's a cadence to how much you want to communicate. You don't want to be, too engaging, but you don't want to be also out of mind. So it's a bit of an art as much as a science, right?
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned two things: great customer service, and then keeping the customer engaged. What are some examples of providing great customer service, or what are some direction or advice that you give your team to provide great customer service?
Well, part of it is just is responsiveness. We really try to answer everything within hours rather than days, for sure. In the beginning, that wasn't always possible because we were like 3 people. But as the team has grown, it's become very feasible, and it's a real crucial need that we have and goal to make sure of that, because we want to be, at the end of the day, it's the golden rule: treat others as you'd want to be treated, right? And so if you really follow that, most things fall into place, and we all know how we want to be treated as customers, and we want to be treated like humans and like not just a number. And we've got a great team that believe in that and do that, and it shows, and we get just a tremendous amount of great voluntary, compliments about how things are handled. And, a lot of people will tell you, a customer with a problem, it can go one or two ways. If you treat them right, you actually will have a better likelihood of having them for life than someone who's just happy and never contacts you, never has a problem. Because you can actually make a personal impression on them.
Right, it's an opportunity to show your customer service. What are you doing to keep the customers engaged, to keep them coming back and continue to subscribe?
Well, we keep we decided, we launched that vlog, as we were forming the company, and we keep it going to this day. I think we're at like vlog number 130 to 140 or something like that. So it's amazing. So there's still tens of thousands of our followers and customers, our community, basically, following us on a weekly basis. We do that on a cadence, so they know to expect Sunday or afternoon. There's a vlog out there, and they can learn about what's going on with us. They actually get business entrepreneurial tips, because they're kind of learning as we're learning. and skincare tips and things like that. So that's one of the major things. And then we also, every month that you're on the subscription, you're going to hear from us, hey, your subscription is about to renew. Just letting you know. We also let guys really customize their subscription in terms of frequency and length and so forth. So while we design it to be 30 days, everyone's mileage varies, right? So you can set it to be anywhere from literally, like, some guys use it too fast maybe, and so anywhere from like 20 days to 60 plus days in between shipments, and you can skip a shipment if you maybe had a bad month in terms of sticking to it. So there's a lot of flexibility, but we engage them to come and go to their dashboard and get in and get out and make the changes they need to.
With the vlog, is that something that a team works on, or is that just one individual putting this together?
Aaron Alpha M does the vlog every week. He films it. Oftentimes, when we have company meetings or when we're traveling to, Aaron and I work remote, so when we're in Chicago, he'll usually do filming of the headquarters, and those are really fun vlogs because the whole company is involved in it. And on a weekly basis, we give, Aaron, again, he's a co-founder, he's part of the company, he's in meetings during the week, so he knows everything that's going on, and he can kind of put his spin on for the company on what's going on and what we've learned this week and what we're setting out to do.
Very cool. So I want to talk a little bit about the website, because I think that it's a very well done website. Was this produced in-house, or did you hire out for this?
We have a developer that was he was out of house, but still with us. Still doing things for us. So we're happy with the site. Everything can always be improved. We've engaged a conversion rate optimization company or agency to help us, and but thank you. We're happy with the site, but we're gonna keep moving it forward.
Yeah, so you're doing some conversion rate optimization. Are there any particular tests or changes that you've made to the site, or that they've suggested making to the site, that have had a big impact on the conversion rate?
Yeah, one of the things that we did at first, it's interesting because you also have to pay attention to where customers are coming from to your site, right? And so we've added things like, we've gotten much better at landing pages, so that if they come from a particular influencer, that they feel like like Alpha sent me, or Antonio sent me, or Teaching Men's Fashion sent me, that kind of thing. So
there's a consistency in that messaging from where they left to where they land.
Yeah, that they know they've been handed off, and they're really and they've hit the right place, kind of thing. And the other thing is, I think when we first launched, we knew that everyone was going to be coming from Alpha M's channel, right? From his promoting us, because he's an owner. So we really, and influencers. The great thing about them, of course, is that a lot of times so they're basically sending you very warm traffic. Because they've already explained the product, they've already told you the benefits on why you should really try this, and so it's not there's not as much that you have to do to convert them. So initially, because of that, we were sending. It was almost too easy. It sounds like an oxymoron, but it was too easy to get to the cart. But we learned through the optimization tests and things like that, is that a lot of folks really do need a little bit more information, even after coming from an influencer. So we started sending them to one extra step to make sure they knew the different options they had, and maybe a little bit more of the benefits of this before finally getting to the cart. So that's just an example of the various things you learn through the optimization process.
Interesting that most of the times we focus on how can we remove all the steps possible, so as short as possible. But you bring up a good point that you miss out on the opportunity to communicate and engage with them more, and get them to discover maybe other products they might want to add to the cart as well.
Yep. It's a little bit of a happy medium, right?
Yeah, makes sense. And what's your favorite part of the website?
Well, I really, actually, I really like our growing blog, not blog, right? So I really like our growing blog, and part of it is also just for SEO reasons, right? So for search engine optimization reasons, where we're able to put really good content out there around men's skincare, and so we're seeing obviously a spike in, or not obviously, but we're seeing a spike in our organic traffic, which of course is really important to sustain ourselves as a business. And so not always having to pay for clicks or pay for influencers and things like that. So that's really coming along, and so that's my personal favorite right now. Is the growing blog area.
Makes sense. So you mentioned Recharge as one of the applications you use. Are there any other apps that you like?
We've used Shipping Easy since the get go, and they've been really rock solid for us, since the get go. And we actually changed. We switched from WooCommerce and Woo subscriptions about halfway through this process. We were on WooCommerce for about a year, and we've been on Shopify /Recharge for about a year now. And so we've learned a lot as far as the platforms go. And I think that WooCommerce can be very good for the right company. We weren't building necessarily a high tech infrastructure, and so Shopify really became a better move for us, and we're really pleased with the solidity of it, and of course that you pay for you get what you pay for, and so the uptime and all of that it lets us sleep at night, literally. Versus what we had experienced prior, with a lot of different interesting things going on, let's say. So we're really happy with where we've landed.
Very cool. So thank you so much, Rob. So Tej Hanley at Tej.com, TIEGE.com. You guys want to check out the website. Again, really professionally done. I think it's a great example of what you can do with the platform. What can you tell us about the future of the brand?
Well, we are it's upwards and onwards. We'll be adding more products and things maybe that aren't necessarily part of the routine, but things that guys want to maybe add here and there along the journey. So we're looking at all different kinds of things like that. We don't want to, we got to be careful though to stay true to not being complicated. So we're doing it. As it feels right, as it makes sense time wise. But yeah, it's going tremendously well, and we're gonna hopefully just keep going upwards and onwards.
Great, thank you so much, Rob.
Thanks, Felix. Appreciate it.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Shopify Masters, the e-commerce podcast for ambitious entrepreneurs powered by Shopify. To get your exclusive 30-day extended trial, visit shopify.com/masters.